Gotcha.
What up? What up? This is your boy, Mike the Philosopher, along with all-star panel, Black, Ski, and Shine. And what we're talking about today is the major brands out there that are in danger of losing a lot of wealth due to the woke community. They're calling brands out like KFC and McDonald's and other brands. First of all, let me ask you, Ski. What are your thoughts about these major brands out here, and do you think that they are doing their best job to present a healthy product?
No, they're not. And they call them the woke community. I first heard that in the Ted McKnight show with Aaron Rodgers. What's this, Timothy McVeigh, whatever dude name is. Anyhow, yeah, the woke mob, which they want to call them. It's all on the internet. You can go to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You can see it. You can see chicken that KFC sell you that is it'll be still moving out the bucket. It'll jump out the bucket by itself.
What? What?
Yeah.
Are you for real, dog? See,
we all know from age. Hold on. We all know from age sign, the Jew-ish Jew. Dude. He tell you what they do with the meat, with the children that they. We can go back to the. To I don't know who the Pope is now. The poop is now. Anyhow, the Vatican. What they do with all them children. At the end of the day, they drain them. They're adrenochrome junkies. But they grind them up, and we sell you the meat, and we sell it to our favorite outlet is McDonald's, And I remember when Oprah, dig that, was giving away all them chicken patties. Who gonna give away a billion chicken patties, wet chicken patties at that? Them corporations should be done. I mean,
the gig you said wet chicken patties.
Yeah, the gig up anyway with what we facing now. It's a whole different deception with the Megatron that's going on right now. With the leader of Megatron, what are you doing right now? So
Megatron or Omicron, man?
Disguise.
Megatron, the leader of the Decepticons. It's all a deception. Like Claus, like that. Say Santa Claus, ho ho ho. We know,
See, you part of that woke community, man. That's gonna drive these places out of business, man.
No, I just know who I am.
I guess the question is, let's address, because you said the woke community will drive corporations out of business. Okay, that was the original question. So, can a woke community run them out of business? No. Is it hard to be an upstanding company and not project a personal opinion into your product? Is it? No. I mean, do you have to, like you just said, give out fake meat, pink slime? Do you have to put arsenic in chicken because you want it to be more plump? Oh, it mutated a whole nother leg, so I'm gonna give it an antibiotic. Oh, it got an infection because of the antibiotic, so I gotta give it another antibiotic. Ooh, now it's too fat and medicated, so I gotta give it something else to clean it out, to detoxify it, because it's too toxic for humans to eat. But I'm gonna make it just toxic enough to where it passes. You can eat this. It's like, no. We gotta go good, and bad. And when you do bad, your results will show. I mean, unfortunately, we've been bamboozled and fooled. This chicken tastes so good. They put all of the little chemicals in it to make us psychologically crave it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is by design. But at this point, what they're saying is we don't want to change the way that we've been. And so you people who are educated and educating others, you're stopping my business. Well, that's not on me. So
the study Yeah, let me say this, John. The study led by Karen Middleton, senior lecturer in marketing at the University of Portsmouth, found that consumer activists against perceived dangerous portrayals of women and other demographic groups poses a growing and serious threat to brands. The study, published in Psychology and Marketing, examined the social media backlash against KFC TV advertising, showing boys oogling a woman's breasts. I thought it was going to be a chicken breast, but anyway. But you know what they're saying is the researchers said that in the wake of the Me Too movement, the brands risk losing market share if they're brush off society aware objects, and if y'all keep objecting with how they're marketing these companies, they tend to be nervous about losing money because of all these Me Too's and all these movements out here. Let me ask you, Black. Now, look, ain't pink slime healthy? Ain't it good for you?
Well, yeah.
Don't it got
same
protein?
Way acid is.
I see you smiling, Sean.
The same way fluoride is. You know, the same way all of our GMOs is. I mean, you know, it's about perspective, I guess.
But let me ask.
Technically, it's not healthy. The food that we eat is not even food. It's not to be consumed, really. Like what we eat should not be consumed. It's been outlawed in several countries. Like there's crimes against humanity. There's trials right now going on for the heinous acts that has been done up until this point and still going on right now. So, I mean, the food is not food. The food shouldn't be consumed by humans. Some of the food contain humans.
That's a big statement there, but
that's real.
No, proven facts.
But you got to say this though, because I understand one of y'all thought that there was human DNA in a burger or something, but what about the handler who's handling that ground beef? Maybe that's the DNA they were catching on. You know what I mean? I mean, there are ways to get false readings or if people aren't handling the meat correctly, you are going to find human DNA and it's dead skin cells.
Ooh, I gotta
go.
That's like saying the nurses who handled the COVID-19 test results mishandled it when they took it back to the office to see if it was positive.
Well, but okay, let me give you another example. The King Tut grave site, okay, it came back all the way European, and they suspected that the sample was tampered with. The sample was mishandled. Okay, things like that can happen. You can get a false reading, if you botch the handling of the specimen, whatever it is.
Ooh, let's talk about it. So right now,
let me ask y'all this, okay? Look, if you have a food crisis, okay, because there's a lot of people on the planet, do y'all think then it is okay to work with GMO? Okay, and scientifically get it where you can feed more people, because if we just leave it up to nature, we're going to make a whole, especially y'all, I seen all y'all eat, okay, you're going to make chickens go extinct, okay? I seen you licking your fingers, especially you, Black. So I know these chickens ain't gonna last. They ain't gonna last if we don't have some kind of engineering, or we got some kind of a system to, keep the production going.
I'm gonna tell you about an article that I had to write an essay on in college, and the topic of the essay was, should America go back to being an agrarian society? To speed everybody up, agrarian society is where everyone was growing their own food to survive. If you didn't have food, you had to rely on your neighbors, say, hey, and it was kind of like a little barter system, if you will. You know, I mean, it wasn't the same time period where it was the barter system, but yeah, no, if you didn't have nothing, you'd be like, look, let me hold a chicken. I give you 2 watermelons. You know, let me blah blah blah. But now in today's time, you got to fill out so much paperwork, pay fees, and talk to the same people who say it ain't enough food in order to grow your own food, to have chickens in your backyard. In certain places, it's illegal to collect rainwater.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when you say it ain't enough, I call BS, because there is more farmland in America than there is. I was just about to say something. Yeah, no.
You
Scratch
think there's
that.
more farmland?
Yeah, it's more farmland.
But
it's a lot of farmland.
But there is a
but
bit
these
of a
people want to make.
But there is a bit of a food crisis, though, Sean. And if the population continues to grow, this is why a lot of people are thinking that, the world is becoming overpopulated, because they're finding it harder to try and feed everybody. Okay, at some point, you're going to have to try and make it so that you can double, triple, or even quadruple the production of food processing, just so that everybody can get fed. But if you keep it natural, that will probably be the most healthiest. But if you keep it natural, then a lot of animals are just going to go extinct, man. It's just and even plants at that.
What about all of the farmland that Bill Gates is buying up right now? I mean, I'm pretty positive you don't plan on feeding America with all of this farmland.
Hey, I got a question for you, Mike, the philosopher. All right, so check this. Have you ever drove from Vegas to Colorado?
Yes, I have.
Was there any time where there was a stint to where you didn't see any houses, any population, any activity? It was just land, barren land.
Yeah.
Was there any stint in between them?
Yeah.
How long was that stint, would you say?
It was significant. It was probably more land than it was civilization, I call it, or urban areas. But at the same time, all land is not farmland. Just remember that. All land is not farmland.
Now let's talk about that.
It's all land is not farmland to a non-farmer. But a farmer will know how to till that land and bring back a crop.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
You need
Either his livestock,
you need to set certain,
or his fruits or grains, vegetables.
Black. You need certain minerals in the soil, man. You need nitric oxide. You need things in there. That's why you can't just grow any plant anywhere. That's why some survive in other places and they don't in others, because they don't have the nutrients needed to support that plant. Okay,
I understand what you're saying.
And a lot of that also has to do with weather. Weather is another factor in it. Like, you can't really grow oranges in anywhere in Minnesota. You can only grow them in Florida because of the.
I understand. That's a decent point. But what I will say is, in some areas where the grass is not growing, what do the farmers do? They produce haystacks. They will ship in, because you got to understand something, man. The product that you're putting out will compensate for whatever the expense is that you have to utilize in order to feed the livestock. So it's a cycle. See what I'm saying? Your profit margin is better in the end if you just pay the expense to get the hay shipped in, to get water troughs, even a water truck.
Hay is
if
for
you have
horses,
to
man.
Feed the livestock, and then you're gonna cut that livestock up for thousands. It's only gonna cost you a few hundred for the expense of that livestock, but the output is gonna be thousands. So there is no place to where if you have the numbers in livestock, for instance, to produce the profit that you're looking for, it probably won't be as big as in other places, but there's no place on earth that you can't really, unless it's like a straight up desert.
Yeah, you
So
need
should
to.
America, due to the food crisis, should America go back to being an agrarian society? That's the
Well,
question.
America's done.
Well, no, because at the same time, there's not enough. I would argue there's not enough land that is rich to grow your own stuff. Like now, if you were in a place like y'all know, I went to Africa, right? Everybody was growing their own food, and everybody was doing because they had the soil to do it. I seen the rich soil that they had there. It grew everything from tomatoes to bananas or whatever. They even grew herbs and stuff. So practically everything, but they got the soil for that. That's why that's pretty much the Garden of Eden. But when you're dealing with,
So you can go to Home Depot and buy soil?
you can buy soil, but you still have to, that soil, that don't mean it's necessarily going to take because, you're talking about farming acres. So you got to buy soil. You know how much soil you would need? You would need layers of that because what happens,
if
Sean,
we're agrarian society, all you need is your backyard.
Yeah, but you can only really harvest on your soil for 1 year, and then you have to let it rest for another year. Okay, you can't grow it.
You can grow tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. You can grow.
Well, I know you
can grow it on your porch.
I'm talking about the harvest, the time it takes to harvest a certain plant. Okay, what farmers do is they harvest. You do it in sections. They'll harvest on one side of the soil for that season while they're letting the other side rest. And then they'll reverse it for the next season. Okay, it needs to rest for a while before you can start planting in it again. So
if you owned an acre of land, your house was sitting on an acre of land, you mean to tell me you couldn't cut your backyard into quarters?
I'm not saying you can't do that.
Not you personally, and not you personally, but like, okay, or like I said, buy 4 5-gallon buckets and grow, you know what I mean? Food.
Yeah, man,
should there be a limit? Should there be a limit on how much land you can buy?
But let's keep it a buck though, Sean. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Some mugs don't even want to take out the garbage, okay? Some mugs don't even want to clean their room, wash the dishes, sweep the floors. We are a lazy society. You think that there are black farmers out there now who trying to get their kids to till the land, and they don't want no parts of it. They want the check. Okay, so when you're talking about can we do all
because
of this? We probably could do all of this, and not even just African American society. I'm talking about all of America. We're a bunch of lazy F's right now. Okay, so we ain't gonna be doing that. We're not gonna be growing and doing all that stuff and creating our own farms because people are too lazy. They're too caught up in the corporate world and getting the bag. They care about money. They don't care about growing their own food. They want to go to a restaurant, get a bloody steak, okay, or go to McDonald's, get some GMO food. You know what I mean? Or not shots at McDonald's, but what I'm saying is we don't have the they might sponsor this, I don't know, but we don't have the patience, we don't have the know-how, we don't have the will to grow our own food, and that's really a lost art, and you can't even give a farm away to especially African American today because they're gonna take the farm and they're gonna sell it as soon as they get it, and give it to somebody else.
So they say it's a food crisis, right? Let's address this. They say it's a food crisis. I'm calling BS, right? But if we were to go off the narrative they presented, right? What's the solution to it? What's the solution? So again, hold on. Let me get this straight.
I thought you asked the question. I thought you asked
it was like a hypothetical because I'm going into it. Yeah. So Unc said, look, have you ever drove and seen barren, desolate land? Your argument was not all land is farmable.
Right.
But they have something called farm hotels where they have multiple story buildings and they grow food 'em. Some would even present the argument that they have underground buildings where they also do some hotel farming. So my point or my question is.
Well, let me give you an example here, Sean, real quick. Let me give you a sample. Think of that question and come back. I'm gonna come back to it. But let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. There is a I want to say there is a Muslim or North or I think it's in Iraq, okay, or North Africa. It's one of them. What they did is they actually turned deserts into farmland. A desert, they turned it into a farmland. So it is possible anywhere on the planet. However, what they did is they wanted to make sure that the land got natural rainfall. Okay. And they tried it. It worked for a couple years. And the third year, everything died. Why? Because the rainfall wasn't natural. It didn't come down to sustain the farms anymore. So what the I want to say it was like near Dubai or something like that. So what the king did, or president or whatever, what he did, he sent them back out because he had some people working on it to try and cultivate this farm in the desert. And they said, look, if we get rainfall or even snow on these mountain caps, all that water is going to come down. And they said, good, this is the place where I want you to build the farm then, so we don't have to rely on a natural water. All places don't get the same amount of rainfall. You can go all over the world and they got different numbers of rainfall. Okay, in Southern California, you probably ain't got much. In Seattle, you got way too much. Okay, so the rainfall varies wherever it is, and you can't just farm any place. You have to have a rainfall count that you can really count on to sustain it. Because if you got to water it all the time, it's not going to be self-sustaining. You see what I'm saying? And I would say that I don't necessarily, I don't have a problem with GMO as much as other people do, because I know that all it is really just genetics designed to get you the best product. Like bananas, right? Everybody knows bananas. Bananas are not even the real bananas, okay? Every banana is GMO. That's not even the real fruit. But we chose that fruit because it was the best. And all they did was clone bananas pretty much. And every banana you see is virtually the same genetically. It's the same. I mean, some will say they really plantains. But we took them and made them bananas, and you can call that bananas, but that's what we did, and that's all GMO is. It's just designing the food to a space where we can actually feed everybody, even if we getting the same genetics from every plant. You know what I mean? Or
so you have
no
issue with GMO. But do you have an issue with genetic engineered food?
Well, I don't, if it's proven to be healthy, because what is going to happen, whether we all like it or not, is that everybody's going to have to be able to eat. And if we just let it, leave it up to nature and don't put no chemicals, no GMO, no nothing, we are going to have a whole lot of animals go extinct real fast. Okay, I mean, like I say, the chicken, the fish, everything. We have to actually get in there and produce more fish, because fish are going to be extinct. Believe it or not, edible fish for us, they're about 19. I kind of want to say, I could be wrong about this. Don't. But I think it's about 19 animals that go extinct every day. They just go extinct, and fish is on the list of going extinct because they're going to be fished out. In the next I want to say 50 years, a lot of edible fish that we eat is going to be extinct. Between Africa, China, and America, and all these, and India, all these large population groups, we're going to fish everything out. We're going to eat ourselves, into oblivion. That's why a lot of people are scared of overpopulation right now. That's why they're scared of it.
Should corporate farming and fishing be outlawed? Because it seems like that's the issue.
Corporate farming and fishing?
And fishing. And I'm gonna give you an example. Hold up. So when you go to Pick and Save, believe it or not, and you go to the meat department, meat and seafood department, not Pick and Save don't exist no more. Any grocery store, whatever. Right? The food that is bad or just a little past expired or a little discolored, they throw out. You go to a fast food restaurant, McDonald's or what have you. The food at the end of they throwing out. America wastes more food, whether it be natural or GMO. They waste more food than I believe they probably actually produce. Now that's just my personal opinion, but my point is this. When you are grabbing up fish in large number in big old corporate nets, and then you bring them back to the state, half of them be them die before you got them to where they trying to go, and now you got this corporate fish farm where you can pull out X amount of fish per quarter, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it sounds like corporate greed is the problem.
Well, here's the thing. Let me answer the question. Here's the thing. That's why you have to get a fishing license. Okay. Otherwise the fish will get out. That's why the fish have to be a certain size. They can't be too small. Otherwise you will fish the population out. Okay. And they know these things because they know fish are going extinct. That's just one example. Okay. Is fish. I know it's other animals too. And that's why you can't go deer hunting but a certain amount of time. Okay. You can get some venison that way, and then you got to stop. Because you got to let the population get time to build back up. Okay, now when you're talking about the corporate stuff, yes, there's corporate greed. We do waste a lot of food, but a lot of that stuff, I would argue it's the opposite. Corporations don't want to throw that stuff away. Corporations don't want to throw that stuff away because they're trying to save on their bottom line. Okay, the more food they throw out,
sell it,
yeah, the more they throw out, the more of a waste it is. Now, I would agree with Ski on this, and Ski, you can chime in on this. What I don't like is that if there are too many chemicals that is put in the food that is proven to be harmful. Now I know they have to put some of those in there to be preserved so that it has a longer shelf life. But if that's proven harmful for humans, they should look at getting rid of that. What do you think, Ski? I don't know what Ski doing. What do you think about that, Black?
America alone, we waste 300,000 tons a year in food. 300,000 tons. It just gets destroyed.
Now, if you did some GMO to have a longer shelf life, maybe it wouldn't be wasted as much. But it sounds bad. It's been demonized because people don't like the buzzword of GMO. It sounds like it could cause cancer. Anything
that's without a seed is not electric is the problem. If it's not electric, don't bring life is the problem. You can make something taste like something, but if it don't benefit the body, then what's the point, right?
It still benefits the body though.
It's genetically modified. It don't have the same electric beneficial elements.
That's not true, man. That's not true. That's not. No, it's not. A chicken is still a chicken. Okay.
No, it's genetically modified. It's a clone.
That's like saying pink slime is still beef.
Right.
No, that's not. Those are two different things. But we ran out of time. Do y'all want to do a part two of this?
Modified.
Hold on. Y'all want to do a part two of this? All right. Thanks for joining us since the BMR covered it, now it's official. We're gonna do a part 2 on this, y'all, due to popular demand by us. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.